Brakathiya Howell, Brakathiya Shai, Brakathiya Howell, Brakathiya Shai, Brakathiya Howell, Brakathiya Howell, Bashim Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who drew well. Salutations to the hopefully elect out there. You Akim to Sadakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. Under Pre Shimana, I'm going to entitle this show A Lot of Moving Parts. That's the working title. What do I mean that there's a lot of moving parts? Above you could see, the moving parts that makes a watch move forward. Take give you Swiss watches could get very complex, but when you put the pieces together, you see that they're all working towards a greater purpose to move things forward. All right, now that's the same thing that's happening now with the Most High's prophecy. There's a lot of moving pieces. There's a lot of moving parts, whether it be from wars, tension escalating over there in the east, to them trying to negotiate peace treaties now, to the coronavirus, COVID-19. You already know my thoughts on that. If you don't know, I definitely think it's all bullshit. I just don't see this as a real pandemic because as it stands, the United States has been benefiting a lot from COVID-19, and it's been hurting the shit out of China's economy, which I've been saying for a long time that, look, this is economical warfare against China. The fact that it started out in Wuhan, where they were going to unroll 5G, but check this out, they was also going to unroll 5G in Italy and Iran, where those countries got hit with the hype, a flu virus that is yet to kill the most weakest immune of the people, which are children. So you come to your own conclusion, man. If somebody was to actually die from that virus, if you were to die from a flu virus, you already have to be in severely fucked up conditions, man. But that's neither here or there. But that's playing a role, they say, in the stock market, which the stock market was long overdue for a crash, man. All right, we had a 10-year bull run, which caused stock prices to be severely overvalued, and the market's going to adjust itself. So, to the investing brothers out there that I told you to buy stocks and stocks that deal with prophecy, such as Space, Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, Space, 5G stuff, stuff that has to come to pass, and you can make bank off for it, still go for it, because the markets are down, things are on sale, get it while you can, because the stock market will bounce back. You can't have something is gonna have to fund this RFID in World War III, and us the people. All right, so the stock market is not gonna crash just yet, sadly enough. But let's go into these scriptures now. 2 Ezra 9:1. He answered me. Then this is the archangel Uriel speaking unto Ezra, and it said, "Measure thou the time diligently in itself." And that's what you see. You see a time watch above, right? And we're measuring the times. How are we measuring it? The scriptures. The scripture is the measuring stick. That's the filter that we use. I mean, everything that's going on around us, and there's a lot of moving parts, even down to this Passover situation and the ISUPK spitting out BS doctrines to stuff on an even larger scale. This is a lot of moving parts, man. A lot of things. You can see the Most High as everything ticking, everything. It's like the prophecies are compartmentalized, all right, but they're all working together to a greater purpose, which is ultimately the downfall of America. No matter how you dice it and cut it, it's just a matter of time, man. America will fall. It's just a matter of time. That's it. He answered me then and said, "Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that is the very same time when the highest shall begin to visit the world which he made." And we know that time is at hand. Now the Most High operates, and the Most High time is very different from our time. For us it feels like it's an eternity. We just want America to end because it's so fucking, it's a different order here in the spiritual world in terms of time. Remember that the sun and the moon governs time. That's what the Most High created it for. There's none of that in the spirit world, you know. At least not to our understanding. There's no sun and moon, so time is completely governed differently in the spiritual world. The spiritual realm of the fourth dimension, rather, where it's just moving at a different pace. We have the sun and the moon, and they move at a certain pace. They have something in the spirit world that moves at a different pace. Moses, Peter, one and the same, said, "Look, 1,000 of our years is one of their days." Very similar to like Alaska. Alaska, a day in Alaska could last sometimes 18 days. The sun could be up. So there's just different times and stuff. But yeah, the prophecies are moving forward. The prophecies are moving forward. So like you see these different gears. It's like one prophecy happened over there, one prophecy happened over there, but somehow they intertwine. I mentioned the coronavirus, right? And you can see that it's how it plays a part in martial law, all right? Because they did something called Event 21, I believe. Event something. I believe it's Event 21 where they do planned and rigged epidemics and pandemics and martial law like situations, and then implement them and see how the people react. You know what I'm saying? And man, when I talk about mass hysteria and propaganda and fear, I work in a warehouse where we deal with large amounts of Clorox and Lysol, and that shit was gone. Like, the shit sold out like nothing. And this is all over a common flu virus, man. But you could use propaganda and media, and they at least look and see like, oh, this is how people would act if it was a pandemic, and this and martial law, we could do this and that. So there's a lot of testing going on. And thankfully we have the scriptures. Let me get this real quick before I jump to Revelations 11 and 1. Let me get Revelations 3 and 18, man. Because this Bible really just makes you think different. Revelations 3 and 8. 3 and 18 is what I want to lock you. Revelations 3 verse 18. I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire. That's an elect individual. Zechariah 13th chapter. We know that fire represents trials and tribulation. John the Baptist said it best, man. All right, I baptize you with water, but the one to come is going to baptize you with fire. So the Lord is looking for that, the refined gold, man. That's all we hope to be a part of. That's all we do in these lessons, and whatever gets casted upon us, whatever burden gets casted upon us, we try to just learn from it, move on, and just deal with it. That thou mayest be rich in white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see. Of course, not of course, Salakia. Well, then you go into history. This church right here of Laodicea, they were known for the actual ointment to put on your eye. But the Lord is saying, look, I need you to put on that spiritual ointment. Now, what's that? What's the spiritual ointment? Well, it's the scriptures, man. That's what allows owls to see in the dark. Apostles and elders always bring that out. They have the little oil gland behind their eye. So that's what's allowing us to see through the darkness and bullshit and shrewd tactics that the elites try to put up. Is these scriptures like, well, look, that don't make sense. That don't make sense. That don't look up. Or, So you can see that these devils are used in that coronavirus pandemic, falsely, I believe, to at least service an agenda of theirs, right? Get these people rallied up for martial law, And a lot of things you're seeing too is that people are really fucking cutthroat, man. They get in the habit of not worrying about others. So the elites are seeing this. The people that are behind this virus shit is studying it. And how easy they can manipulate the people if a real situation came out, or they issued a real pandemic throughout the earth. Now I have Revelations 11 and 1. And there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood saying, Rise and measure the temple of the Most High, and the altar and them that worship therein. So I just wanted the first part pretty much, that read, that measuring stick is the scriptures. I'm not going to really deal with the latter part of that verse. you know. And again, there's different moving parts happening. But if you could see the larger picture, you could see that it's just pushing these prophecies forward. All right. All right, okay, I'm gonna have to cut this one short. You know, I have work shortly and I still gotta get some sleep. So, hey, Shalom, Yahweh Shemir Shai Brakathum, and death to America. Yahweh Shemir Shai Shalak Rayam, I'll call it a woman, Mokwayim, 2/3, and those that gainsay against the prophets. Bless you, brothers, man. All right, Shalom.